Welcome to part 3 of our series on conscious sexuality. I'm Dr. Verena Brown with Sentient Anatomy. So in the first part of this series, we talked about the importance of allowing ourselves to have pleasure in our bodies. And we talked about the 5 senses and how sensuality is not simply something that is felt when we are being intimate, but when we're walking through our world and enjoying our everyday lives. We talked about the importance of allowing ourselves to have pleasure in all of our sentences, all of our senses in every moment when we are going throughout our day. So whether it is cooking a meal and smelling the fragrances, or walking in nature, enjoying the sounds of nature, training ourselves to feel pleasure in those senses is going to heighten our experience when we're being intimate, whether it's with ourselves alone or with a partner. Today I wanted to talk, though, about a concept that actually can stop us in our tracks when it comes to that intimacy. And this is the concept of erotic surveillance. So what is erotic surveillance? So when we think about being embodied, we are feeling our sensations in our body as we feel pleasure in something. We're out of our heads. We are just purely in the moment. Erotic surveillance is the opposite of that. It is that voice inside your head that is watching you do the thing and judging it. So many of us grew up thinking that our bodies are visible, a little too visible, at all times, even when we're alone. Like somebody's always watching our actions and judging what we do. And this can be, from all sorts of your upbringing. It could be from past trauma. It could be from what your religious beliefs taught you. It could be what your parents or, family taught you or society taught you. It can come from all sorts of different places. But this thought that you're never quite alone, and you're never quite alone enough to feel your own pleasure, that something is going to judge you no matter what. And so even in moments of self-pleasure, whether that be intimately or eating a bowl of ice cream, you might actually be thinking of all of those voices that are monitoring you instead of being present to the flavors of the ice cream in the bowl. You might be eating the ice cream in the bowl, but instead of just saying, oh my God, this is the most delicious, rich chocolate ice cream I've ever tasted. Chocolate's my favorite. You could be thinking, should I be eating this ice cream? Is this too much ice cream? Are people going to judge me for the ice cream? Am I going to regret eating this ice cream? All of these negative thoughts that are taking you away from the moment of eating the ice cream. You could be eating the ice cream alone in your kitchen, and these thoughts are still going, and you're not fully enjoying the pleasure of the ice cream. The same can be the case in your intimate life. If you're with a partner, am I doing this right? Am I performing correctly? Am I too skinny? Am I too big? Am I too this? Am I too that? Am I too loud? Am I too soft? All of these judgments. Never mind the judgment of, should I be doing this at all? And now, granted, in life we should think about doing actions that are good for our bodies and good for our souls and good for our minds, not hurtful to others. But if those things are true, you're not hurting anyone, you are doing things that are enjoyable to you and bringing your life some joy, then why are you monitoring yourself? We all do this to a certain extent. But this, again, stops us in our tracks from feeling that pleasure. That judgment keeps us away from the pleasure. And so we have to retrain our minds and notice, am I monitoring my pleasure? Am I erotically monitoring myself here? and telling myself no when my body really wants this to be a yes. So if you're going to decide to eat the ice cream, eat the ice cream. Enjoy the ice cream. Set aside the judgments of the ice cream. Because if you're sitting there eating the ice cream with a head full of, I shouldn't be eating this ice cream, then you're really just wasting the experience of having ice cream. And what's the point of that? So, be a full body yes. And when the doubts come because of voices that are not your own, retrain yourself to own your own yes. If you are a yes and you feel it in your body, retrain those doubts so that you can listen to yourself. Because here's the thing, those voices of erotic surveillance are not your voices. Those are not coming from you. Those are not coming from deep into your soul. They're coming from someplace else that you learned a long time ago. And those voices don't have a space in your erotic life anymore. It's your body. It's your present moment. So, one of the exercises I'd like to suggest, so you take your paper and your pencil and think about a moment of pleasure. Eating that ice cream, being intimate, riding a roller coaster, whatever it is. Take that moment of pure pleasure and then see what comes up for you as far as resistance. Who is telling you no? Is it your parents? Is it an almighty being? Is it your friends and your society? Who is telling you no? Why are they telling you no? Does that translate to a no for you? And is it for a good reason? Do you still need that no in your life? Do you still need those voices in your life? Not saying to cut people out, obviously, but just realize where those voices are limiting your beliefs. And if the answer is, I don't need this belief anymore, and this belief is holding me back, write that down and acknowledge that that's the case. Now, retraining our minds and our nervous systems differently is a whole different video. But a place to start is realizing who is your erotic monitor. Because it's not you. Acknowledging that, acknowledging the resistance is there, that's how you can move past that. But we have to realize first that in that moment of pleasure, we are stopping ourselves. And then we have to think about why that's so. And there is a way out. There is ways to retrain your nervous system back to your full yes. We'll talk more about that in future videos. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for part 4.